get along with this presentation.
I am actually in need of a favor myself. I'm driving.
Okay, well then,
you guys
the,
prefer me to be hands-free.
yeah, well then I'll introduce him. So Nick is Assistant Professor of Educational Leadership at Ball State. He previously served as a school principal, athletic director, and high school math teacher in Ohio. He's also serving on the NBA All-Star Host Committee. He's served in a variety of part-time roles in sports, including the statistics crew for the Pacers and Fever and grounds crew for the Cincinnati Reds. The fellow gets around, doesn't he? He's best known for the creation of the Elam ending format for basketball, which has been implemented by the NBA All-Star Game, NBA G League, and TBT, the basketball tournament. He's been interviewed about the Elam ending for over 400 outlets, including podcasts, radio, TV programs, and written articles. He's also been a member of Kiwanis chapters in Northridge, Dayton, Ohio, and Muncie. So there you are. Nick, I'm going to give you the floor, and welcome aboard.
Well, thank you so much. It's great to be here. I'm really proud to represent the NBA All-Star Host Committee. And so over this time, 20 or 30 minutes, I'll have the opportunity to share some of the events that are going to be going on associated with All-Star, and some of those you're probably well aware of, some of those maybe not, and then also really focus on the things that are going on in the city of Indianapolis and some of the community engagement and community service, which as a former Kiwanian myself, I know how passionate you are about that. Again, when I started out as a Kiwanis member, that was in Dayton, Ohio, when I was serving as a school principal, and one of my favorite events was our Special Citizens Dance. That was really an exciting event every year, something that brought a lot of pride for our students and community members. And then also we had a Christmas auction each year. And I remember one year in particular, the auctioneer who we had hired to run the event, who was excellent, lost his voice in the middle of the event. And so I had to step up and be the auctioneer for the rest of the event, which I had no experience in doing, but we got through and we got everything sold and we raised some money. And so that was, one of those things you have to do in a pinch. But so again, during this presentation, it'll be a combination of events on the court and then some exciting things going on off the court. So again, my name is Nick Elam, and I'm excited to be with you today. So we'll start out with a fun video here. And this is about a 2-minute video, I believe, and you'll see some recognizable faces here. And hopefully this works well. Hopefully you can see it and hear it.
It's about to go in a minute. It's been waiting all night. Absolutely love the state city with rich and deep basketball roots. The best players in the world. Game time. The best pickup game in the world. All-Star. Hustle, baby, why you think they pay me? Let me know when you're ready to roll. And you're ready to 180 in the gray Mercedes, South Beach, where they love me the most. And you know they gon' watch me ballin' like a Michael Jordan and always win like they did in the court. And the shot is falling and the phone's recording. Yeah, you know that we going. We gonna make it rain. Like we won the championship. We welcome you. 23rd annual NBA Legends Brunch. It's about to go in a minute.
But I can't get it back. Unlock. Well, that's it on my phone now.
Whoa! Crossover going hard in hit that money in the bank. All-Star going hard. It's about to go in a minute. Let me touch down. I'ma get it. It's game time.
Oh, I don't want to play it again. Hold on. I think it automatically plays a second time. Let's okay, here we go. So now we can move on to the part talking about some of the marquee events. This is some of the action that's going on the court over the next few weeks. And then we'll talk about some of the exciting things that are going on or will go on in the city off the court. So one of the things that photo that you're looking at there, that is from the last time the NBA All-Star Game came to Indianapolis, and that was played at the Hoosier Dome. This is in 1985. You'll see what a large crowd there was for that game, and we're hoping and expecting, certainly for the All-Star Game, there'll be a capacity crowd, but there'll be records broken for some of the All-Star events that are going on this week. We're confident about that, and so it's exciting for Indianapolis to be on the international stage yet again. It's become a big city host or big event host city, and here's just another opportunity to be on the international stage. Things will look a little bit more modern though than did in 1985. Some of the events, most of the events are condensed into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the February 16th, 17th, and 18th. On Friday, February 16th, there's two marquee events, one of them being the All-Star Celebrity Game. It's exciting to see both some former NBA greats who are still in their element playing in this game, and then also some celebrities who are very much out of their element. Although there are some surprises at some of the talent that on the basketball court that some of the celebrities have, but mixing it up and having a fun event that will be at Lucas Oil Stadium from 7 to 9 p.m. on Friday, February 16th. And then right after that at Gamebridge Fieldhouse, home of the Pacers, there will be an NBA Rising Stars game. So these are some of the top players who are in their rookie year or their second year, or even in the developmental league of the NBA, the future stars of the game. They'll take the court a little bit later on Friday night. Some more also fan-friendly events, and they're fan-friendly because they're a little bit less cost prohibitive on the ticket price. But so those would be the All-Star practice session, which is on Saturday morning, starting at 11 p.m. at Gamebridge Fieldhouse. Also the HBCU Classic game, that'll be Saturday afternoon. Also on, you can see some more information about the HBCU Classic. That's a game between Winston-Salem State and Virginia Union that will be played on Saturday afternoon. On Saturday night, some of the more recognizable events of All-Star Weekend, those will be at Lucas Oil Stadium, and that's why I say, taking it out of a normal basketball arena and putting it into a football stadium where there's more capacity. It's really exciting to think about the possibilities for how many people are going to be at this event. It's going to be really kind of an unprecedented event for All-Star Saturday night. But some of the things that are always exciting there are the skills challenge and the three-point contest and the slam dunk contest, always crowd pleasers. So that'll be a really fun night on February 17th. Expecting about 35,000 fans there for that event. And the way to get 35,000 people in for a basketball event to make sure that everybody has a good vantage point is to kind of re-envision what Lucas Oil Stadium looks like. It won't look like a football venue on that evening. It will kind of be split in half, as you can see there on the right side, with hosting the basketball events. But then on the left side, there'll also be kind of an entertainment venue set up, musical performances, things like that on the left side. So it will be an amazing night, a one-of-a-kind night on Saturday, February 17th. And then, of course, the main event, the culminating event, is on Sunday, February 18th, the NBA All-Star Game, the 73rd edition of the NBA All-Star Game at Gamebridge Fieldhouse, home of the Pacers, and where you have, it's just so special, where you have all of the best basketball players in the world all on one court, playing against each other on a fun night, a star-studded night for sure. And then also, something, and you see some of the fun images of the broadcasters, the players, musical performances, all the stars come out for the All-Star Game. But one of the events that sometimes overlooked is the crossover event. NBA crossover will happen at the Indiana Convention Center. It spans Friday through Sunday. It's kind of an open, you have to have a ticket, but it's kind of an open access, come as you go, come as you please event. And just so many exhibits, concerts, activations, artwork, it's kind of described as the Disneyland of basketball. And so really fun event. We'll look at last year's
NBA
crossover.
crossover event happening at the Salt Palace this weekend.
Thousands of people are coming to the Salt Lake Valley for all the events, including one that is about an interactive experience for you, the fan.
It's like a basketball Disneyland.
NBA officials calling it a celebration of the league and its impact on culture through sport, obviously, but also art, music, and fashion.
It's so crazy. It's so awesome. It's hype. Stuff to do everywhere. Players over there. Yeah, it's just a vibe. It's so like it has a vibe right now.
See on the revamp, look over us. This is like the exposure of a lifetime. Getting a chance to expose our brand to new audiences. This is really your best opportunity to get a little bit of that All-Star excitement.
So that's the NBA crossover event. Again, that's going to be at the Indiana Convention Center from Friday through Sunday. And tickets are $35 for adults, and kids are really going to love this event too. Tickets are available for $20 for kids. And you can get those at nbaevents.com. And some of the musical performances you'll see at Crossover include Zed on Friday night and Keith Urban on Saturday afternoon. And then there's also some experience packages, kind of some upscale packages. You get some all access privileges with that. Those are also available, NBA experiences. One of the things that is really a goal of the Indy Host Committee is to make the 2024 NBA All-Star the most accessible one that's ever been hosted. Sometimes it can be, again, cost prohibitive for a lot of people, or just the layout of different cities makes it hard to get from one venue to the next, because, again, this is an event that is going to, there's a lot happening at Gainbridge Fieldhouse. There's a lot happening at Lucas Oil Stadium. There's a lot happening at the Indiana Convention Center, and then all throughout the different streets and sections of the city downtown. It's not as easy to get around in some of the cities and get from venue to venue as it is in Indianapolis. And to make it even easier for folks, Indigo rides are going to be free throughout that weekend. Bike share will be free all weekend, starting on Thursday, February 15th and going through Sunday. So that's, again, just evidence that how Indy Host Committee is hoping to make this a really accessible event. I'm going to kind of skip past the rewards program information. If you want more information on that, you can reach out to me. I'm happy to address that. But I'm going to go on to the community engagement part, which again I think is going to hit close to home for a group like Kiwanis, where community engagement, community service is so much at the heart of what you do. So one of the things that's been really cool to promote riding and just kind of promote a connection to basketball. This was something that was happening starting, I saw it firsthand at the state fair, and I think it's been happening ever since, but encouraging students to write, but young people and adults too, writing love letters to basketball, why the sport of basketball is really important to them, dropping those in a mailbox like the one you see there. And, speaking on behalf of the state of Indiana, how much we all love the sport of basketball. And those are letters that are delivered to the All-Stars, drawings to upon their arrival to make the event even more special for them. Excuse me. So I'll let you read one of the letters here from someone with very nice penmanship, better than mine. So that's just one example of the many love letters to basketball. One of the events that's coming up, I'm really excited about this. I'm going to be there helping out with this. This is part of the Million Meals movement. It's in conjunction with NBA Cares. And so this is an event that is going to take place over 24 hours from Thursday afternoon to Friday afternoon, February 15th and 16th at Lucas Oil Stadium. 6,000 volunteers, and there is still opportunities to sign up for the for this event. I think the shifts are about 1.5 to 2 hours, 2-hour shifts, yeah. And packing meals. The goal is to pack 1 million meals, and those go in the state of Indiana for folks who are experiencing hunger. So, really exciting initiative coming up. Just one example of some of the community outreach. Another really fun community outreach opportunity has been this 92 county knockout. This is to recognize each of the 92 counties throughout the state of Indiana playing the playground game of knockout. Each county has had its own competition, and they've had a competition, they've had a winner, and so those 92 winners are going to go and try to compete for a state championship in knockout, which will be really fun. So many of you have probably heard about what's the transformation of the Indy airport, the full-length basketball court there in the food court. Really cool photo there to welcome people into Indy area and get the excitement, here over the next few weeks. And there's also another photo of the airport there. More of the signage. It's kind of extending the topic of community outreach. We'll call this section Hoosier Historia. Some different artwork that you see, that you're going to be able to see throughout the city. These are 20. There's going to be 24 of these giant basketballs representing the state of Indiana, or the artists are from the state of Indiana. These are going to be, in the downtown area, and so those would be cool for you to see as you wander around downtown and see those. I like the Hinkle Fieldhouse one. All-Star Legacy event. This is an initiative where $50,000 grants are going to be granted to community-focused, youth-serving nonprofits in the areas of health and wellness. And Krista Morehouse. So these are some current projects going on. The Aspire House here in Indianapolis received a $50,000 legacy grant toward an industrial kitchen, which will serve as a learning lab for science-based nutrition education and healthy cooking classes, including diet-based prevention of hypertension, diabetes, to positively impact the health of youth in this area. And so you see the photos. One is from a visit in early May, or the photos are from a visit in early May. And so this is going to be a transformation that'll be completed in the next few months. That's really exciting. Also, Boys and Girls Club of St. Joseph County. So they also received a $50,000 legacy grant, and renovating the O.C. Carmichael Youth Center that's in South Bend. There's a gym renovation, including the flooring, the bleachers, scoreboard, and lighting. That space is used for a variety of sports, events, training, tournaments, clubs, leagues. It's going to be further expanded. And so this winter, Boys and Girls Club, they had the ribbon cutting ceremony for this. And so legacy projects overall, they've benefited 20 different counties, more than 100,000 youth annually. Again, some of the exciting community outreach going on. Rising Stars Scholarship, that's another initiative. You can see the scholarships where there were already 21 awarded back in 2021, 24 more, 3 more to bring it up to 24 each receiving a $2,400 scholarship. And you can see some of the winners here. Really exciting scholarship. As someone who works in education, it's always exciting for me to see anything that benefits students pursuing their education. One of the themes that you'll see throughout the city, if you haven't already, is that we're re-envisioning the city of Indianapolis, the downtown area, as a basketball court. We're saying that downtown is the court and the fan is the all-star. And so you can see a little bit more of it here.
Get ready to make some noise for the biggest weekend in basketball. The NBA All-Star 2024, right here on Indy's home court, featuring 3 days of fan-fueled events, from All-Star plays at Lucas Oil Stadium to Party Central at the Indiana Convention Center. All roads lead to Gainbridge Fieldhouse for the NBA's biggest showdown. This is All-Star Weekend in Indianapolis, where downtown is the court and the fan is the all-star.
So you got a glimpse, and here you see it now, of how we're visioning downtown as a basketball court. And I love looking at this. I think maps are cool anyway, but I think they're especially cool when they're drawn as a basketball court. But you can see how different landmarks throughout the city are incorporated here. Monument Circle, Gainbridge Fieldhouse, Lucas Oil Stadium, the Indiana Convention Center, many of the hotels, restaurants, landmarks downtown. So again, it's a basketball takeover of the downtown area, and I think people are going to be really, really excited about that. And hopefully weather will be nice so that people can spend a lot of time outside or going from venue to venue outside, bring people together. That'll be fun. So most of the on-court events are Friday through Sunday, but there is one event on that Thursday evening. This is February 15th. This is called the Tip-Off. That'll be in the new Bicentennial Unity Plaza, and that'll include fun-filled evening, ribbon cutting, fireworks, and it's free. So the Tip-Off event is totally free. I encourage people to come downtown for that. Some other activations going on, some light-based activations, Light Up Indy's home court, and that's in collaboration with the Arts and Culture Committee. You see a large-scale immersive experiences in public spaces, iconic photo experiences, the sounds of the weekend honoring Indiana's own DJs, and again, so that will be really fun. We take a look at Monument Circle and how beautiful that will be heading into All-Star. For arts and culture, there's going to be 4 large-scale light-based projection installations. So these are going to be at the District Tap Building, Monument Circle, the T-Mobile Building, and the Hudnut Commons. Again, these are 4 large-scale light-based projections that you'll see kind of one as an example there. That'll be a lot of fun too. The Cultural Corridor. Former pairings is Plaid and Pearls Coffee, the former Rock Bottom restaurant. It's free to the public. It's an international marketplace, retail, all those things going into the Cultural Corridor. Another event that will be going on throughout the weekend called Butter. It's free to the public. It's a fine arts fair, creative summit. And so as we come to a close, we have an opportunity for questions, and I'll leave up this graphic here for a moment. This is a list of some of the exciting things that are going on throughout this calendar year in the city of Indianapolis. Indiana Sports Corp is helping to produce all these, except the solar eclipse. They can't take advantage, or they can't take credit for the solar eclipse, but NBA All-Star Weekend is just one of many exciting events going on. So it'll be a fun weekend, and it's not totally confined to the weekend. It's something that will span before, after, something that Indianapolis can really take a lot of pride in. So I appreciate your interest in this, and we've got some time for questions and answers.
Great, thank you, Nick. I'm going to go first with my question. I think it's great that you put a basketball court at the Indianapolis airport. How did you come up with that? And was the airport easy to work with, or did you have to convince them?
Well, I personally was not involved in the discussions there, but again, it happened, so it was a successful collaboration effort. And I think just the layout of Indianapolis, I think it's I think it's kind of unusual to have a large food court like that before you get through the security gates. But that's something that's unique about the Indianapolis airport, and it kind of made it conducive to having that large basketball court there. But they've had some cool displays with other big events going on, and this was just a perfect fit. Again, it's one of those things you truly cannot miss. So when people come into town between now and then, I mean, they'll know that this is going to be the basketball epicenter for that time.
Who else has questions? Just start talking.
I've got a question. You mentioned the transportation accommodations. Is there anything, I may have missed it, but anything special in terms of safety that will be put in place in that time?
Well, sure. I don't know the exact numbers, but as far as EMT, emergency personnel, police, from within Indianapolis and elsewhere, being in the city, certainly it will be very heightened security for sure.
I had a question, Nick. Some of the art installations are being put up for the game and that weekend. Are some of them staying as part of the community? Or most of them, like the light displays, those will probably go away?
The light displays will go away, but like one good example of something that will stay, you saw some of those large artistic basketballs.
Yeah.
So again, there's 24 of those, and they are going to have permanent homes after All-Star somewhere in the state of Indiana. I think those will be the process for determining where those homes are. I don't know for sure, but yeah, they'll be there to stay, and it'll be great to see those for years to come.
Well, and it's great that this supports the full state. I mean, you're considering everybody, so that's wonderful. Looking forward to it.
Well, and that was a key thing. I mean, you'll notice in the logo for the event that it wanted, specifically it says Indy. The term is Indy, and you can see it, on the shirt here, Indy, because it wouldn't be accurate to just say Indianapolis. It's more accurate to include the whole state, and so again, that was part of the thinking behind that.
Well, it is the Indiana Pacers, so it makes a lot of sense.
Exactly right.
Thank you.
Kelly, am I on, Kelly?
Yes.
I wanted to say that this is fabulous, Nick. I was there years ago when they had the other one. I just think you're going to make Indianapolis really proud of what you've done in the state of Indiana. I want to thank you very much for what you've done. Okay.
Well, and yeah, it's been fun. I mean, it's a fun event. I mean, it's been a lot of work up to this point. There's still a lot of work to go, but yeah, now we're getting to the part where it's really, really fun. And everybody, not just in Indianapolis, not just in the state of Indiana, not even just across the country, but even internationally, get to see Indianapolis on the big stage. So it's a lot of fun.
One suggestion, you might have a bus that would take people to Hinkle Fieldhouse and back, because I know there's a lot of people that would like to see that. Not all 35,000 at the same time, but you know, it would be a nice little venue to include. I know you have that basketball, but I know, I mean, it's people have gone there as historic preservation too. Yeah.
Oh, it's beautiful. And offhand, I'm trying to remember, I know this is something that's been looked at extensively, but things get blurred in your mind. I can't remember if Butler is home that weekend or not. So certainly that would affect things, whether their men or their women's team is playing at home. But yeah, it certainly people coming from all over. And I heard yesterday that there have been tickets sold to people from 47 states. So almost, someone from every state coming to events. But certainly, yeah, it's really under the radar kind of venue. People don't realize how people from other parts of the country don't realize how historic and beautiful that venue is.
I have one other, Kelly, do you want me to do my poem now that I would have done at the beginning? All right,
We'll wait a minute.
Okay, I don't want him to disappear, but I wanted him to hear it.
Yeah.
All right.
Any other questions for Nick?
Yeah, I've got one,
Yeah,
Mary.
Jack.
Hey, Nick, how did you find time to do all of this work? Are you still a practicing teacher?
I am a professor at Ball University.
Yeah.
So I am preparing the next wave of school principals and school superintendents. I used to be a school principal myself and a teacher before that. How do I find time? I don't quite know. But it happens somehow. But I'm pretty crazy when it comes to time management, and I'm one of those people. I think I could live 2 lifetimes and never get bored. There's like a million different things I want to do, and you can only pack it into 1 lifetime, and I'm trying to do as many as I can.
Yeah, you said you had a newborn, and that's a full-time job.
It sure is. Yeah, and my daughter's name's Sunny, and yeah, love her, and that's as much as I enjoy all these other roles, the role of dad is the best by far. I love it.
Right.
I just had a
great.
Go ahead, Art.
Oh, sorry. And I apologize. I had some technical computer issues early on, so I may have missed this if you covered it. But the Saturday night event at Lucas Oil Stadium, is that sold out?
One of the advantages, I guess, of putting a basketball event in a football venue is that you can kind of be a little bit flexible on the seating capacity. So I think they've met certain goals, but now they're going for a different goal. I know they've released even more tickets and made those available. So I don't know. I don't even know if it's technically possible to sell it out. Because again, they're really going to have about half of the venue, within a good sight line of the court. But I know I've got my tickets, and you can get tickets for those. I mean, I think you can go to kind of your standard outlets like Ticketmaster, something like that. But that'll be just a really fun night, and that'll be one that people will be talking about for years to come. Truly.
Also, just do you know what the economic impact is going to be to the city, or what that's estimated to be?
Yeah, I just heard a presentation on this within the last week or so. I'm trying to remember the gentleman's name from the NBA who came in, and also in his exact words, he said, Indianapolis is the best big event city in the world. And his role is just to travel around and help put on these NBA events, whether it's all-star games in any given city, whether it's sometimes they do exhibitions in different countries throughout the world. And then, of course, he's involved in the Indianapolis. Those were his words. Indianapolis is the best big event city in the world because, for a lot of reasons, because of the layout of the city, but also people's willingness to get involved and come out for the event and attend or volunteer, whatever it might be. I don't remember the exact numbers. I'm sorry. I might be able to get you the name of the gentleman who made that presentation. In fact, someone can go ahead with a different question, but I think I can look and see what the gentleman's name was who had the solid numbers on that. But I can go ahead and take a different question if somebody's got it.
Thank you.
I just had a comment. I can't keep my mouth shut. I saw Adam Silver, is that his name, NBA commissioner?
Yes.
He's going to be speaking at the Economic Club here in Indianapolis. And it might be that week. I don't know the exact date, but I know that's kind of boosted as well. And I can envision him being someone who said Indianapolis is a great city for sports, for big events. But just a wild guess.
The gentleman who made the presentation, his name is Joey Graziano. I've just typed it into the chat there, and his role is, his official title, he's the senior vice president of the NBA. He's the head of global event strategy and development. So he knows all about these big events. He knows all about the different cities, the pros, the cons, the things that are conducive, not conducive, and he's a big fan of Indianapolis. It's easy to tell.
Great.
Nick, tell us about the Elam ending format. What is that?
Sure. So the Elam ending, as someone who's been a avid basketball fan since I was 5 years old, even though I grew up in Ohio, my mom is an IU grad, so I grew up on Bob Knight and the Hoosiers. That was what I grew up on. But as someone who just loved good fundamental basketball, it was always disheartening to me that you have these great basketball games that when you get to the last couple minutes of the game, it doesn't look like basketball anymore. Kind of all the excitement, the fluidity goes out of the arena. You get just a constant, marathon of fouling and stalling, and you kind of get an inferior brand of basketball at the end of the game. And so the concept is, well, how do you preserve a more natural and exciting and fluid style of play all the way through the end of the game? And so that's what this idea is that's become known as the Elam ending. In a nutshell, the Elam ending is that you play most of the game with a clock, but you play the last part of the game without a clock. And by doing that, it takes away all these, it takes away the incentive to foul, it takes away the incentive to stall. You get more authentic, assertive play. You get some exciting game-ending moments. You get more suspense and comebacks at the end of the game. So this is something that was implemented. I first thought of this in 2007. And somebody who's kind of a researcher at heart, I took weeks and months to really scrutinize this idea because I thought there had to be some sort of fundamental flaw for why this idea would not work. And I just wanted to figure out why it wouldn't work. But the more I scrutinized it back in 2007, I came to believe that it really was sound, that it was necessary, and that it had the potential to be very cool. Well, once I convinced myself that the idea had merit, then the really tough part started of trying to convince others that the idea had merit. And what I didn't realize is that was going to take over 10 years of continual outreach to people in the basketball world before it was finally implemented at TBT, the basketball tournament, for the first time in 2017. That's an event that happens each summer on ESPN. And then once it was implemented at TBT, then my job got much easier because it wasn't just me speaking on behalf of this concept. Now people got to see and witness firsthand, exactly what this concept was intended to do, how effective it was. And then it was only about 2.5 years later at the 2020 All-Star game that the Elam ending was implemented at the All-Star game. So again, that was really exciting because now you had literally the greatest players all in one court playing under this format that I devised. So we've seen it at the NBA All-Star game. We've seen it at the G League, which I'm actually even more excited about at the G League because that's the developmental league. That's like the minor league for the NBA. So I mean, these are games that are really meaningful for the players and coaches there. They're all trying to work their way up to the NBA, and the NBA has implemented the Elam ending at that level, because they're trying to experiment and see if it's worth implementing at the NBA level. So if you're interested in learning more about the Elam ending, well, first of all, I'll put my email in here if you're interested in learning more about the Elam ending. But then also, if you just Google Elam ending, you're going to find more articles that you'll ever want to read, more podcasts and you'd ever want to listen to. Just it goes on and on and on. If you Google Elam ending, information about the story behind it and all that sort of stuff.
Well, Nick, thank you so much. We learned a lot. It's all exciting, and I know a lot of us will be participating either as audience members or volunteering. Thank you for putting this in the forefront, and it's great that you're a fellow Kiwanian as well.
Yeah, it was great to talk to you all. Yeah, thank you.
So I just want you to know that a donation is going to be made in your honor to 100 cameras for 100 kids. Their mission is to provide 100 deserving kids with a camera each year, fostering creativity, self-expression, and the development of important life skills. Through the lens of a camera, they can tell their stories, document their journeys, and explore the world around them in an entirely new way. So your baby is still napping, so I'm still glad that we let you go first to accommodate her. We wish you the best, and we're going to go ahead and
starting to wiggle around just a little bit
there. You go, and get with our announcements.
But well, thank you. That's really an honor. The donation, I really appreciate that. And yeah, how cool is that? That's not something I was expecting, and that's great. I'm really honored.
Well,
Mary, do you want me to do my closing now?
Yes, if you would, please.
Mary, this is for him. This is for Nick. Okay, this is a poem I do, kind of poems each week for Kiwanis, and some are better than others. This one they published, it's called, and it's just for you, Nick. Positive Thoughts. 12 minutes left, 6 points behind, timeout. Quote, we will win this game. Quote, think positive. Quote, think only positive thoughts. Quote, only positive thoughts. That was from Coach Thad Mata, Butler's men's basketball coach last week when Butler was behind. But as you know, they beat Villanova in 2 overtimes. So here's my punchline. Isn't this what we all need to do every day? Think positive thoughts.
Thank you, Greg.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So we've got some anniversaries. So Bill Neal, 49 years. Eugene Schulstead, 39 years. Ted Mao and Phil Nicely have a happy birthday today. And Scott Harkness's birthday is tomorrow. Is Wendy on? Wendy, do you want to talk about Abe Lincoln, which is coming up very shortly?
Yes, thank you. And I had hoped to extend a personal invitation to Nick. So Greg, please make sure that he knows about this since he cherishes those things for education. All right, Friday, February 9th at Primo Banquet Hall, which is on National Avenue, we are going to have our 49th Abe Lincoln Luncheon. Doors are going to open at 11. The program starts at noon. We're going to plan for this ending at 2 o'clock because Rafael Sanchez is once again our MC. And you know, there's only so much you can do about reining in Rafael.
Right.
I want to give a special thanks to Scott and his firm, Norris Chaplin Schroeder, for sponsoring the 49th Annual Abe Lincoln Awards. We also owe a shout out to our Gold Table sponsor from the Valparaiso Kiwanis Club. School table sponsors include Mary Marsh and Rich Schreiner, and our newest Lincoln Fellow, Roger Cummings. Yay! We're excited to welcome some other Kiwanians from the Lawrence, Northwest Indy, and Perry Township clubs as well. I also want to give special thanks to John Frank, Laura Holloway, and Trina Raudebush, who will be welcoming 20 students into the Circle of Valor on stage. Then Nathan Ashworth, Steve Willem, Lamita Steele, and Scott Harkness will be revealing the 4 students who will receive renewable 4-year scholarships totaling $56,000. Our 2007 scholar, Brooke Moreland, will provide an invocation. And I really want to give special thanks to the committee as a whole, who've been busy preparing remarks and doing last-minute details, and especially Steve, John, Scott, and Pat McCrory and Trina, who've been helping so valiantly with the written remarks, bios, and introductions that we're going to have. So I really hope to see a lot of you there. Roger and I are going to be making phone calls to people to see if we can increase attendance. We know that this is a popular program for good reason. And, you know, I just look forward to seeing a packed house. Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate it. Okay. Next week we will be on the, wait a minute. Yeah. We'll be back here at the Columbia Club on the 22nd with Dr. Richard Brandon Friedman, and then on the 7th of March with Mel McMahon, and on Zoom on the 29th, the Leap Day program about the Holcomb Observatory Planetarium and the total eclipse. And on the 31st of March, we'll hear from Howard Kellman and his 50th year of announcing baseball. The next social supper is late this month. It's going to be the 20th, Tuesday, at Yard House, which is at the Circle Center. So let me know, shoot me an email or a text, and let me know by Sunday the 18th so I can adjust the reservation. Roger, you want to talk about IOZOs this month?
Well, I think it's known, we just changed the date, so we didn't have two right together. So we'll be on the 4th Monday this month, but then we'll go back to the 3rd Monday in March. So
Okay.
Monday, February 26th, 11:30. Come and join us.
Okay, and Roger and Laura, if you can give us updates on the SLPs.
Roger, why don't you go first in Shortridge?
Sure. Shortridge, some of you know, lieutenant governors for the key clubs. They were elected last Friday, and one of the girls from the Shortridge Club will be next year's lieutenant governor. Her name is Sweet Knight, best name in the world, Sweet Knight. So they're doing great. They're doing a lot of projects, a lot of service things. They can't. The faculty advisors got to kind of rein them in, hold them back a little bit, or they do something every week. So Shortridge is doing great. I think there's like 35 kids involved, and they all take an active role. They've got committees that are all involved with the committee, which is something we should do and don't do. Two new things I've talked about. I met with Harshman yesterday. They've got a new advisor, so I met with him, spent a little time. And then also there's another middle school. It's called Henry W. Longfellow. It's near Fountain Square, or in Fountain Square, actually. Off of, I don't know what the name of the road is. But it's a nice school. They want to start a builders club. So I've told them I would bring it back to the club and the foundation and see if there's a way we could accommodate them. They wouldn't be doing much this year anyway, till next fall. So it's a very good program. Met with the principal and the faculty advisor. They're very interested in doing this. So I want to find a way to do it. So that's what I've got, Laura. I don't know what else you got. You probably got
Sure.
more.
Well, I just wanted to, let everybody know we also have the lieutenant governor we're in two different divisions for the two high schools. But for the Rose division, we have a new lieutenant governor from the Perry Meridian High School Key Club. Her name's Love Swayze. And the current lieutenant governor that's retiring now is being endorsed for district governor for election that will be held March 1st at the Indiana District Leadership Conference. So that's exciting. We also we're also just about to hold club elections, and that's going quite well. Moving forward again with the advisors trying to keep up with the students on this. They did a fun Miracle Minute at the basketball game on Friday for the Riley Children's Hospital. And they also worked concessions, just volunteering. They put in a lot of volunteer hours in January already. 40 members went to the Midwest Food Bank earlier this month, and I think helped with everything for the whole month, I would say. And we also did, we helped out Southport Kiwanis Club and their Key Club with their hoop, helping our own people a project there, and with the Mount Pleasant Church Impact Center, where it's similar to a food kitchen and or food grocery available to members of the community. So, lots of stuff going on.
Thank you, Laura and Roger. We appreciate it.
Well, could I say a follow up, Mary?
Sure.
So our 2 lieutenant governors for our 2 divisions are Sweet and Lovey. You gotta love it.
Yep.
Thanks.
We've been giving out $5,000 checks. Steve Farrow is in the meeting today. Steve, can you give us an update on that?
Sure, Mary. I had the opportunity to take a $5,000 check from our foundation for a grant that the foundation awarded to Special Olympics of Indiana yesterday. And I have to tell you, this is my second year doing this. It's one of the most wonderful things. It's just so much fun to take one of our foundation's checks to a local nonprofit. And there were 7 or 8 people that came out to the front of the office, and their CEO Jeff Moeller was there. Actually, a friend of mine from Fishers had just become the director of communications, so he was there, and he kind of helped taking pictures and stuff for our office, and they posted it on social media. But I do have to talk about a little bit about the Kiwanis connection here. Part of the group that came out to greet me, there was a girl named Madison Ferguson, and she said that she was the 2017 Female Athlete of the Year recipient from our club. And she said that from receiving that award, it caused her to join Circle K down at IU. And then as she's telling me this, one of the clients at Special Olympics speaks up and says, "Hi, I'm Mary. I'm also a member of an action club." And it was just, there's this big Kiwanis vibe through the whole thing. But what they're going to use part of the grant money for, interestingly, is to purchase game uniforms for the NBA All-Star Weekend, because they have some exhibition teams that are going to be playing. And they were hoping that maybe some of our board members might be down there while the exhibition games are going on, because they'll have little Kiwanis logos on their uniforms too. But just a great experience, and I encourage all of our members, if you have the opportunity to take a grant check to a local nonprofit, do it. It's so rewarding.
Yeah, that had to have been a really good feeling inside to have all those people come up and see the connection with Kiwanis. And you know, the Special Olympics does such a great job, and I'm so glad that we were able to donate funds to them. It's what we do. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. So remember, next Friday, we're not having a meeting Thursday. Next Friday, Abe Lincoln down at Primo's. If you haven't got your tickets yet, get online and do that. And dad joke. What son of a gun's dad's name? Pop Gun. And with that, we are adjourned. Have a good week, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.